Okay, good morning, class. Today we'll be having the first class in financial accounting. I think I need to go a bit back here. Financial accounting. Basically, what today's class will entail is just the introductory part of financial accounting. Bookkeeping and financial accounts. So we'll be talking about the accounting. I hope my board is clear, like you can see everything I'm doing on the board. Can somebody signal yes, you can see clearly what I'm doing on the board? Hello, okay, yes, we have someone else joining. Like clearly, right?
Yes.
Okay, sometimes I will need to be sure everything is fine. So from time to time, I might ask questions. Okay. I think we have someone that has just joined. Today's class, basically, we'll be talking about introduction to bookkeeping, to financial accounting. They're basically on bookkeeping and financial accounts. The course outline will, I don't know if anyone has the course outline, but what I'll be taking today is the part that has to do with the meaning of bookkeeping. We're looking at the meaning. We're looking at the meaning. We'll be looking at the history of financial accounting, historical background of financial accounting. Then we'll be looking at the users. We'll also be looking at the importance of financial accounting. And if time still permits, we are likely to go into the part, the accounting ethics part, because it's still a vital part of financial accounting. Please don't mind the background because it's really cloudy around here. And okay, please can you get me a lamp, please, so that to make it more clearer. So starting with bookkeeping, basically, what do we call bookkeeping? You know, when I decided to so basically, bookkeeping part of the topic we are going to treat is this class. Basically, we should all see it like it's just an avenue for us to get the basis of financial accounting. So by the time we'll be going over our text, our study text, or any other materials we might likely to come across, you'll be able to have an idea of what it is, what should have been, and what is expected of you. Because as far as financial accounting is concerned, financial accounting is more of like our day-to-day activities. Is what we do every time. And by the time we start with this, by the time we start discussing bookkeeping, which I want to start with now, you understand what I mean exactly. For me, bookkeeping is just like, they say bookkeeping is the systematic what? Is the systematic record of business transactions. Okay, let me leave this out. Business transactions. And I tell you, when you are talking about bookkeeping being a systematic record of business transactions, you are looking at bookkeeping from a layman view. You're looking at it from where? A layman view. You are seeing raw data. And when I mean data, data in their raw form cannot be used unless they are processed into what? Information. So when you're talking about systematic record of business transactions, and I said you're looking at it from a layman view, which means you need little or no knowledge, of what? Or no knowledge of accounting, no knowledge of accounting. Or what you just need to know is, okay, if I'm buying, take for example, if I'm buying, what can we use as an example now? Okay, if I'm buying biscuits, as a bookkeeper, what you are just looking at, one pack of biscuits, how much? 200 naira. This as a bookkeeper, because you're just recording those transactions. As a bookkeeper, it is not in your place to come back and say, this is sales, this is purchases, this is no. As a bookkeeper, you just record transactions the way they are. They are already in their raw form. Now it's left to whosoever is going to work with it to what? To process this data into an information, which we have here. So going with that, you don't need to have this vast knowledge of accounting to do this. All you just need to do is have little or no knowledge at all. You just know that, okay, somebody comes to tell you, okay, serial number 1. What you just need to do is just write, if you sell one pack of biscuits, write biscuits 200 naira, rice sweet 100 naira. That's what it entails. You don't need to go into an in-depth form of what the real accounting is. So as a bookkeeper, just record your what? Your transactions as they happen. From these explanations I've given to you, it means that if you're seeing bookkeeping in any question, be it a multi-choice question, be it a theory question, you have an idea of what it is. You don't need a words for what statement that will say this is how it is. No, just have an idea. Okay, this is how it is. And you can put these ideas out to people to say, okay, this is what I understand by this. I tell you, anywhere in the world, you will always be fine when it comes to accounting. And basically, that's what this class is meant for. It's just for you to understand the basics. It's not for you to understand it words by words, systematic record. No, you don't have to go back and start cramming systematic record of business transactions. By the time you are reading the information from your textbook, from your study text, you understand why this definition is like this. So just have it in mind, the systematic record of transaction as it is. You don't have to have a special knowledge on how you want to do it, because they are already raw data in their form. So you still need to do what? To process these data into financial information. And to do that, that's where accounting comes in. So financial accounting, as it is, they say financial accounting. I have this attitude when I was in school. Okay, let me say my mentor. He has this way of coding things to make work look easier. And please, can you leave? Thank you. So it makes work easier for you to do. It makes information easy for you to recall information, especially when you have a lot of data a lot of information to have in your head, a lot of materials to cover. For him, he said financial accounting is what? Financial accounting he said, is what? Is classic. That's what we call it. Classic of what? Financial information to the end. Now I'm going to put this end users. You can see, if you notice, I have to capitalize my name. I explained part of this because without an end user, financial accounting is zero. As much as financial accounting is zero without the end users, there's no way you can go ahead and say you want to process data. Now, classic, what does classic do? You know, earlier on I was talking about bookkeeping. I said bookkeeping is a systematic record of transactions. If you recall, I wrote raw data and I specified, I stressed on raw data because without those data, there is no way you can derive your financial information. Now, how to derive that financial information is processing this raw data. And to process raw data, you need process what? Raw data. To process raw data, you need classic to do that. So what do we call classic now? Classic is classifying. Yes, you're classifying the raw data you gathered in the first place. You are now recording whatever you classified together. You are analyzing. At the same time, you are summarizing, because there's no way you analyze without summarizing. And at the end of the day, you go ahead to, okay, I think I'll need to, okay, I'm trying to see how I can pitch these things in. I want the board to be clear as much as I want everything to be glaring. Okay, I think we've talked about this. Let me call this off. Okay, so the I part says interpreting. I'll still have to rewrite this. Interpreting and then eventual what? Communicating. Because without all of these characteristics, I tell you, you don't have financial accounting. At a point, we have raw data, and those raw data has basically what? Created an avenue for you to now say, okay, let's do a financial accounting from this. I think please, you need to allow me. I don't want to cause a lot of confusion here. So I'll have to put this together in a way that will be self-explanatory. And by the time we'll be looking at it together, we'll be able to say, okay, this is what it really entails. And this is why things happen. You know, I used to tell people that there's no rocket science in accounting. Accounting is the simplest course I've ever seen in my entire life. It's just that it's just for you to get what exactly are you supposed to be doing. What is the concept? What are the basics? These are the things you just need to gather together. So classic, like I said, C is classifying, R is recording, A analyzing, S is summarizing, I is interpreting, and C is what? Communicating. Now, I was citing an example earlier. I said 1 pack of biscuits. 1 pack of biscuits could be, are you buying the biscuit or you're selling the biscuit? When you're selling is a different thing. Say you sell for 200. When you're buying, you say you buy for 100 naira. All of the financial accounting will come ahead and say, okay, these are the things you sell. Okay, let's classify all of these as sales. These are the things you buy. Let's classify all of this as purchases. Okay, they'll put everything together in a record, analyze them together, then put them in a summary. That's why you find out that in your financial account, you find a single figure for what? For sales. That is the analyzing and the summary part. You find a single figure for what? For purchases. So at the end of the day, you can now come out and say, I want to interpret this. Okay, this is what I have. This is what I'll be able to derive out of the raw data I got from bookkeeping. You can say as much as financial accounting can be vast, can be much more than bookkeeping. Financial accounting is an integral part of bookkeeping that cannot be eliminated. Whether you like it or not, you still have it. But it's just that in today's world, we have some accounting software that has made it much easier for bookkeeping in a way that has actually deprived people from getting a bookkeeping job. And as much as you can do, as far as most companies do now, what they have is the software, have people that are dealing with those transactions, record them there, and they can now go back. The software already has the whole features. Let me say adding. We call them some add-on features that will automatically classify after being recorded, analyze and summarize them. In fact, it will give you summaries of things you don't never imagine. So it's now clear for you to now pull these things out and say, okay, I want to achieve. That is where the interpreting part and the communicating part comes in. So back to what I was saying, the financial accounting is the classic of what? Financial information to who? End users. If you check my first definition before I rubbed off the board. And when I mean classic, is the financial accounting is the classifying, recording, analyzing, summarizing, interpreting, and what? Communicating of financial data to who? To the end users. So if you are not going to now say, okay, because I was talking about interpreting and communicating. That is where the end users actually comes in. So let's talk about that. Who are the end users? We say users of what? Financial accounts. Okay, let me just use up here to create more space. We say users of financial. I'm sure you won't mind this noises from the cloudy weather. So we say, who are the users? As much as I know people are following well with this class, and I really want people to learn. I don't want a situation whereby we'll be going back to cram. What did he even say, Seth? What did that person even say? This is what is it? No, just understand the concept. All you just need sometimes is concept. Nobody is a genius. We are all born a genius. It's just for you to get the concept and make the best use out of whatsoever information you have with you. So we say, who are the users? Number one, we say management. This management part, it used to come like almost all the first thing in every text is always like that. Then we talk of creditors. Okay, you know what? Let me just explain as I write them out. Management. Who are the management? If you are creating a company, it's not just creating a company. If you have a company, you have people that are working for you. Say people in let's say your employees. Out of these people, out of your employees, you have people that are doing the boss parts. Then we call them management. Anyways, sometimes they can be management, sometimes they can be, okay, let me put this in a way that can be very easy. People that are actually running the organization at the management. Though they have employees, people that report to them in a way, they can sometimes be employed by the company. But most of the times, management generally, you call them people that are running the what? People that are running the organization, running the business or organization. Now tell me, why do you think these people will need financial information? They are the first set of people that will always come into, let's interpret what this financial information is saying. You said you have sales of 5,000. You did purchases of 3,000. Your purchase minus your sales minus your purchase will give you your 2,000. You have a profit of what? 2,000. They will be the first person to come out and say, why are we having a profit of 2,000 naira? How is this 2,000 naira going to sustain the organization in the future? How is it going to sustain the going concern of the business itself? These kind of things are what this management are always have. And this management is always, you always find management like the CEO. Sometimes you find them as CFOs. Oh, sorry. Am I supposed to be doing this? Well, it's just it's just part of it, but we still manage in a way. You find people that head the operations and all of that. Those are the kind of people that wants to see what your financial information is saying, because at any point in time, they are out there to say this business is moving, this business can survive. Then why is it not moving? Then why is it not surviving? Why are we making a particular level of profit? Why are we making a particular level of losses? How can we improve? How can we move forward? As in, they need those information to see what the prospects. They can make projections. We call it financial projection. They make budgets out of every information you provide for them. So management are one of the first set of people that want to see if the company is doing fine, if the financial statement, the financial information being provided is a perfect one per time. So aside those ones, stay within the organization. Actually, I'm supposed to define this in two ways. We have the internal users and the external users, but for now I'll be dealing with the internal users. So internal users starts with the management. Then we talk about employees. You'll be wondering, what do employees need financial information? At this age, when you are taking up a job, the very first that is very important is you want to know your job security. You want to see the performances, the future prospect of the organization. So you want to look at their financials and say, okay, if I'm working with this kind of company, it means in the next 2 years it will not crash, and they will just tell me my business is over. My job is over. Yeah, I should start going to my house. But those are the kind of information employees need. They need to have an information that will say, okay, this business is a going concern. Okay, when we get to it, there's actually another part we discuss, but when we get there, sorry, I'm using that term now, but regardless of how it is, we still need to bring in some things that we still talk about in depth in the future, in depth in subsequent topics here, so that we can actually analyze fully. So what I'm saying is, after the management, we have it's not just the management that needs the financial information. We also have the employees who wants to be sure that it's not the business prospect in the future is continuous and will continue to be. It's not one that will just end, and before you know it, the business crashes. They don't get paid with their salaries will be unpaid for a very long time. Those are the kind of things they consider when it comes to when it comes to financial information. Then we have what is it called? Yeah, we have the external users. Okay, I think we should be done with the part of this interpreting and communicating, because as far as we are concerned, the interpreting part and the communicating part is to the users, and the users are divided into what? Into two. We have the internal users and we have the external users. So the internal users part is the management and the employee. Though I'm still looking at I should still have some other users under the internal users. Then we have the external users. We have people we call the suppliers. Who are your suppliers? People that actually have a situation whereby they are the ones to supply you with everything you sell. Take for example, if your business was actually the nature of your business is what's it called? Take for example, Superstore. Superstore has a lot of dictionary. Sometimes we have different things let me go and buy myself the things I want to buy. No, sometimes you need to do this. So as a Superstore, you need a bulk supply. Now here is the thing: in a business, it goes a long way. I'm trying to make you understand why these people are called users, and I would really appreciate if you have these things synced in your head in a way that if you see them in a multi-choice questions and in the theory question, you'll be able to come out and say this is what it is. You know, sometimes your multiple choice questions, they can be so confusing. And if you don't get the concept, before you know it, you'll be picking the wrong answer. So when it comes to a superstore, you are looking at a bulky supply. So in a way, you will not have to be going up and down and all of, and be doing the I want to buy and sell. And again, it's not all the time you have money to buy. So in a situation whereby you don't have money to buy, yeah, you don't have a choice. What would you do? You will just go and you will go and meet Baba. You just go and meet a particular company and say, please, can you sell for me on credit? I will pay you so time. No, you're trying to like get them familiar with how your business is moving. Don't worry. If you give me one container of biscuits today, I tell you, I used to sell very well. I can sell a half container in a day. You know, you're trying to like persuade the supplier at the point in time. But yeah, the supplier will just be like, okay, no, wala, bring your financials, let's see what you have, so that we can really be convinced that yes, you can really do this. Because at the point the supplier is giving you money, he's giving you his supplies, he's giving you his inventory. Him too, maybe he's using the base, his base that he used to get the supply. So you will not want a situation whereby after he has given you all the supplies, you will now be okay, I'll come and pay my money. You start giving him stories. You say, please bring your financials, let's see what you have there. Basically, suppliers want to see your ability to pay and where they due, where they are due, where your base is due, like this, your obligation. We call it due, but we call it obligation more proper as an accounting term. You say when the ones they are due, supplier wants to see you pay. They don't want questions, they don't want stories. So those are the instances your suppliers will say, okay, let's see your financial statement. The other people that will also need your statement is your customers. You are persuading somebody to come and buy. You know, it's not easy to get customers this that you have bulk. After this one gave you one container of biscuit, you are not thinking, hey, how am I going to sell this biscuit? After I've convinced this one that I can sell and I'll be able to pay all his money, you start looking for customers. Some customers will just be like, are you sure we can rely on you? Are you sure we can really say yes, we have somebody we can buy from? They don't want to come the next day and you'll be saying, sorry, we cannot shake it, sorry, we cannot, we don't have goods today. You know, it's deserting as sometimes when you want to buy something and you get the person and the person is telling you, sorry, I don't have today. You will just be like, why am I even into this business in the first place? So your suppliers can also be your what? Your suppliers and your creditors can be the same thing at times, because somebody that is supplying you also is more of your creditor at the point that he needs your financial statement. If you are taking your cash to him, he won't even bother if you are going to, if your business is a going concern or not. If you are going, so far as you got there, you got the money and you've done everything that is needful, you will not even bother, you will not be bothered about it. Then who again do you think will need your this thing? I wish this is an interactive class. So you also need a lender. When I mean a lender can be in form of a banker. You know, we cannot say a banker. Let me just put it like this. A lender can be a financial institution. Let's put it that way. I think that one is more proper, because when we say financial institution goes a long way. Financial institution goes a long way because we have financial institutions to cover both a bank, both the what's it called, the NSC, we call them the Security Exchange Commission, the SEC, Nigeria Stock Exchange. Financial institution can be vast. So when we get to that part, we are still going to treat that part of financial institutions, but I'm sure it will be towards it's going to be a very long time, because towards the end of after most of the topics have been treated. So financial institutions, they will need your financial statement more, especially for different instances. In fact, this lender/financial institution, I don't know how I want to classify it, but I'll explain the two in case you find the both. This one is a loan lender. This one can lend you loan and it can still do more than loan. So that's why I kind of like put it lender/financial institution. The both can lend you money. But this one cannot do more than loan. This one is just loan. This one will go ahead and do loan. It will do registration for you. This one will do registration. This one will do sales of shares. Sales of what? Of shares. I want you guys to like have this registered somewhere. That's the difference between what? That's the difference between a financial institution and a lender. A lender will only give you loan. A financial institution will go ahead, will go beyond just loan. Sometimes registration, sales of shares, you want to get sales of shares, registration. I think that should suffice. That should cover it all. So those are the things this one will do. But before anybody will give you this Nigeria that we are right now, if everybody is releasing 1 naira to you, that person wants to be sure that for every naira I'm giving out, I'm getting every naira back with interest. So nobody is ready to give out anything free. So the moment you are doing it, you want to be sure that this my loan, I will get it, and I will get this my loan back plus what? Plus interest. So anytime it's due like this, that I want to collect my money, I will just hear ping, ping, alert on my phone. I don't want to hear stories. So in order for you to be sure that all of that will take place, you still need your what? Your financial information. So the financial information part of this topic is a very vital one. Okay, so aside this, I think we really need to wrap this up for this class. I'm sure I have my colleague that will be joining next week that will take some other part of it that I won't be taking for now. So these ones are just basically credit facilities. Sometimes when you need to do some other corporate transactions that would need people to see your financial information before they decide, okay, fine, let's go ahead and do it for them. So we call some set of people the financial analysts. I like this people. When they hold this financial information, financial statements, when they hold financial statement for you like this, they will finish it for you. They will analyze things you don't even imagine. You will not even see that. They will look at it like this and analyze things. They will look at the company and say that the financial information and say, don't worry, see this financial information I'm looking at. They will make so amount of profit in 10 years. They will make so amount of profit in 5 years. In fact, this business is not just a going concern. This business can improve. This business can buy other business. Those are the kind of things these people do. So they are on this thing. They don't just evaluate what the financial information is saying, and they will advise you on what? Something we call investments. I don't know if you can see this part. Okay, what they do is they analyze everything, and they will tell you, they will make decisions on what? Investment. So we also have the almighty people. I call them almighty people. Do you know why I call them almighty? You will not know why I call them almighty until you have encounters with them. We call them government agencies. These people are so mighty that you cannot play with them. And what are these government agencies? Government agencies is vast. We cannot limit, today's world, we can no longer limit government agencies to tax authority anymore. We have to look at different parts of what? Government agencies. Though users of accounting, from everything I've explained now, you should be able to see questions. You go through your study text and you will understand more. You will see you will get in-depth knowledge about why these people are called users. They will give you a list of people, and by the time you start looking at, okay, what does this one do? What does this one do? What does this one do? You'll be able to relate it that, okay, management, those are the people that manage the business. Definitely they will need the financial information. Employees the people that work for the company. They want to know whether you can pay their salary, and you will not tell them their job is over. Suppliers, people that will supply you, and you might likely be owing. Those ones, those are the ones that will even need your information more, because they want you to say, go ahead, let's give them the supply. They will pay us regardless. Customers, people that want to say, we want to buy, they will not want to come to your shop the next day, and they will just hear, sorry, those kind of things. You are just trying to, as much as possible, you're avoiding things that would not move your business, that would not satisfy what you need. And aside that, they want to know that for each time, for this customer, they want to know per time that their need will always be satisfied. Then we talk of lenders and financial institutions. Those ones, they are the ones that actually, they don't only give loans. They want to be sure that per time, when they give you loan safe, they want to be sure they can get their interest. And when you go to them and say, we want to raise money, but I don't want loan, I want to issue shares, I want to issue bond, I want to issue preference shares, those kind of, those treasury bills, all those commercial. When we get to financial institution, we go in there. But you understand that by the time you deal with these people, they don't just need your financial statement to borrow you money, but to help you see how you can fast track and move your business. Then we look at the financial analyst, who will tell you, okay, for this investment, if you want to do this investment, let's see for your financial information, go through it. They'll help you go through it and say, okay, this investment will work. In fact, you can add another investment. In fact, you can buy this, you can buy that. Those are the kind of taxes these ones do. Then government agencies, basically, the one we used to know, we call them tax authorities. But for me, government agencies has gone beyond tax authorities. In fact, in Lagos State, you will know that we know government agencies is not just tax authority, but those tax people, they will always want to do what? They will always want to have a situation whereby they want to be sure you are not what? You are not trying to evade tax / avoid tax. Well, there's a difference between the two. Tax evasion and tax avoidance are two different things. This one is you are just trying to do wuru-wuru. You are trying to manipulate the whole thing. Sure, I don't want them to see that you have money somewhere that they want to collect from you. Avoidance is just a way that you are trying to see. We go into that in depth in a way. But I tell you, when the government agency says they need your financials, they want to see how much sales did you make. You made 1,000 naira sales. Okay. How much purchases did you make? You made 500. You should get. By the time you get 500, so you made a profit of 500 naira. Where is our own share? Did you pay tax? And tax normally for corporate entity, corporate entities, they charge tax at what? At 30%. So government agencies, all these people, they will expect you to pay 30% of what? They will expect you to pay 150 naira from this one. This 500, you must pay 150 to them because it's their right. It's just what it is. So in a way, they want to be sure that, are you sure that 1,000 naira you said you made is your really, is that 1,000 naira you sold? Are you sure that this 500 you said you purchased, is it that the real money you purchased? They don't want you to sideline them. They want you to be clear and true about everything you say. So in a way, that's what the users of accounting is, especially for the government agency. But I beg you guys, I strongly appeal to you guys, please and please, as much as you can, after each class, is just try and go through your study test and see everything we've discussed. Make a note out. That way it will be much easier for you to comprehend. In fact, if they wake you up from sleep and say, hey, Alagbaja, come and tell us, what do you know? What do you know about this thing? What have you heard about it? You'll be able to go a long way to do so many things because you'll have an idea of what it is that, this thing, I don't need to cram. I don't need to put words for words in my head. If someone like me, maybe that's why I never had the opportunity to write 5.0 in my school. I can't cram. I don't know how to put things in my head like words for words. The moment I put one in my head, I will sure miss something out. That one is sure. So I try and I implore people to like go through the details, understand the concept. It goes a long way. It helps you a lot because at the end of the day, you find out that you'll be moving really fast. So what I would just beg you guys to do is go through this class over and over as much as you can. That's why we are doing a recording and we are actually advising you put it on YouTube. You can go back anytime you feel you have confusion. Go back, check what it is, check the topic itself, check what the lecture looks like. Then you now go back and check your study text. You'll find out that there's no much differences. And I tell you, as much as we are trying to organize an interactive section where you can now put your questions together. Then that day, the day we'll be having that class, we won't be doing the board. We'll be doing a face-to-face interaction where people will put up their questions via. Bye-bye.
We
All right.
thank you once again for coming to this class. We appreciate your listening attention. We thank you, the tutor, thank you too. And please guys, subscribe to our channel, encourage us, talk to people about it, tell your friends, share with them, comment, and join the class and be active as tutor, as right